Welcome to the OnStage podcast, where we interview musicians and members of the entertainment community. Hello, everyone. It's great that you are with us again. We have an all-time fourth time I think she's been on, Filomena Croce, and she is an Italian singer-songwriter and Master of Music graduate in jazz and pop voice at Art Easy Conservatorium in Zwolle, the Netherlands. And she also performs with various duos and bands around the world in well-known theaters and clubs such as the Ariston Theater in San Remo, Italy, Becco das Garrafas in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the Royal Festival Hall in King's Place in London, and 38 Riv in Paris, France, Doberman in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and at festivals such as the London Jazz Festival in the United Kingdom, Brno Carnaval, and the International Samba Festival, Sambaco in Germany. She's been all over the place.
Everywhere.
And like before, we'll put everything down in the description, but also we'll refer back to the very first video she did a couple of years ago so that you can refer back to it. The second video, we'll put everything in there so you can get re-familiar with Filomena. She's such a wonderful, wonderful singer, and her last song, Renaissance, was such a beautiful song. We'll link that there too. So can you tell the audience what you've been up to the last year since Renaissance?
Yeah, so it's been 1 year. I've been on the show to promote Renaissance that just came out and that I recorded actually in Canada, in Toronto, very close to where you are. And well, its video has been recorded in Mexico though, because I lived in Mexico in 2022. And also last year at the same time, almost, another song of mine came out, Shiva, which I think we also talked about, in collaboration with an Australian DJ, Stephen North. And well, after that, I just I left Mexico, unfortunately, but it was such a beautiful time that I had there. So I went back to Italy, where I'm originally from, and now I'm back to the Netherlands. So where I lived since 2015, the end of 2015. So I have like a long history here. I studied here for my master's, and well, a lot of things have happened. So I'm back here. Actually, Renaissance last November, 2023, has been showcased at the IMX, is the International Music Expo that takes place in Shanghai, China. And well, it has been showcased there online, so that's a big win. For me, it was really amazing. And I've also been invited in December 2023 as well at the ceremony, the German Songwriting Awards for Renaissance as well. So it was really, really nice. So I attended the ceremony. So a lot of beautiful things. And well, right now, I'm involved in two big theater projects with two local groups, which is super amazing. One is going to take place on the 14th of June in Leiden, nearby where I live, kind of. And it's called Wanderlust with vocal group Pitch Control, and it talks about wandering, of course, not only like in different places, like physically, but also like personally, like getting lost and then finding yourself again. And then another theater show on the 15th of June with voice vocal projects, which was also one of my vocal groups before I left to Mexico. So I'm reuniting with them for this very special occasion. It's like it's called Kaleidoscope. So it's like looking into the lens of a kaleidoscope, into the greatest hits of the vocal group, and I'm very, very excited about that. So yeah, I'm really excited about what's coming up this summer. I also have a lot of solo and duo gigs coming up in the summer.
Tell me more about the vocal group. What sort of songs do you sing? Are they cover songs? Are they songs that you've written, such as Renaissance and Shiva? And how many people are in the group?
So yeah, there are two groups, and well, we are about like 20 people in each group. And no, they're not original songs of mine or of ours. They're covers, but they have like a range of like different styles, like from pop to jazz. I'm having a scat solo as well in one of the songs. So yeah, it's going to be really nice and for all types of audience, really. So especially the one on the 15th with voice vocal projects, and which I'm really fond of voice vocal projects, because like I said, I was in the group already since 2019, before I left to Mexico in 2022. Yeah, those are the greatest hits of the vocal group. The group has been existing for 14 years now, so long before I even joined. And the peculiarity of this group for vocal projects is that each year they do, or we do, because I'm also part of it right now and earlier, there is a different project, like completely different each year. So you will find, so last year when I was not there, they also did like a country project, and the year before it was like electronic and EDM music. Then when I was there in 2019, it was like more expressing the language of the body, so more theatrical. So each year it's different. So during the concert there would be a lot of different genres, like for everybody basically.
What is the motivation and passion that you can provide, like the valuable context of not only joining a group, but not just going at it solo?
Well, for me, music is sharing. So yeah, well, going completely solo sometimes, which I did, by the way, last year.
Mhm.
So just one woman show I did for a couple of months. It might feel a little lonely sometimes. So that's why I usually anyway sing in duos or like trios, but like bigger groups, like I really enjoy the feeling of sharing with the other people on stage, rather than just being by myself or like in duo, which I enjoy anyway, but it's a different type of enjoyment. It brings me uh, more joy to be there with a lot of other people as well. So, but I
Do you
like to do a bit of everything, because then I also, write for myself, only for myself, so I just do a little bit of everything. But I really like the feeling of sharing, and I don't like competition at all. That's why I never took place in well, when I was younger, I did some competitions, but really I left them because I don't like to compete. I feel like everybody has something that is, that is good to put into the world, rather than, like, musicians or singers in general, like, to be put against each other. I don't like that.
Everyone's talking about mental health, and I know the month of May was Mental Health Month. So, what did you do to help yourself with your mental health?
Ooh. Actually, I didn't know that it was Mental Health Month. Oh, I don't think I did much about that. I try to distract myself when I feel like I'm, well, I wouldn't say burning out, but like getting overwhelmed. Maybe that's better. So yeah, I try to I like to meditate. That helps. And well, also what I do sometimes, when I feel like, oh, I would like to procrastinate, at this point, I just put some very up tempo music, and then that kind of gives me the motivation to get up and do what I have to do. That helps. So maybe that, but I didn't know it was Mental Health Month.
Yeah, everyone's doing mental health these days, and we were given half a day as a mental health day. So I had taken my half day from work about a week and a half ago. So I took a Wednesday. And then they said, if you want to take the whole day, you can take half a day as a vacation day. So I took the whole day off and just, did what I did. Went for a walk, played with my cat. You should be so lucky I play with you, though. No, just joking.
Oh,
Uh,
you have the cat over there.
I have a black cat. Yeah, her name's Hannah. She's turning 10. But I do a lot for my mental health. Sometimes, if I'm not doing anything and just relaxing, the worst I can do for my mental health is to do nothing. So I would either edit a podcast, talking to friends, whatever I do. When it gets to the point where I'm angry or frustrated, I either go for a walk or I do whatever, but it seems to work. So a song, let me get this straight. A song is not written or lyrics aren't finished or music isn't done until you all agree, right?
Well, there is especially one member of Voice that I really enjoy spending time with, but we do not write music together. Um, Actually, I had not written music for a while, and I have just started again, which feels pretty amazing. And well, I did it by myself, just me, on the piano. So be prepared, actually, for new music, by the way, that I'm the one that I'm writing right
Looking
now.
forward to that.
Yeah, it's really I'm like, for a while, I'm not sure if it was like a writer's block or something, where I didn't really have like stimulus. I'm not sure if that's the word, the exact word. But like, I don't know how it just came back, and I've been having actually quite some ideas. So I feel pretty inspired right now that I'm writing. And then I'm also preparing new music with Stephen North. So the Australian DJ that I released Shiva with last year. So we are working on a new EP. We do back and work and forwards a little bit, but I feel like the songs that we are writing together. They are pretty amazing. There isn't really like something that we say, oh, I really, really don't like that. It hasn't happened. In maybe it just happens like, oh, maybe I would prefer a little bit like this, and then it says, oh yeah, maybe, and then we try, and a little bit of adjustments, but nothing really that we say, oh, I dislike that or something. So yeah, these are the two like songwriting projects instead that I'm working on. So it's actually quite some things, and well, I'm not sure when they will come out exactly, because like we are still working, like both me and him, and the ones like only myself that I'm writing only by myself. But yeah, I hope that it will be soon, hopefully within the end of the year or beginning of 2025.
Do you write everything in English and then have it translated?
I'm definitely most comfortable in English. I do write in English. I like my native language is Italian, but I do not write in Italian either. um, I feel like I've been living abroad for so long. I only speak Italian when I'm in Italy, or I speak with like an Italian person. But like most of my thinking in my head, it's in English anyway, because I think I'm so used to it. Because I moved for the first time in 2013 to England first, and then I came here. So yeah, it's been 11 years now, and yeah, at least since probably 2017, I think I've been writing in English only. And then with singing, well, I also sing Brazilian music, so I sing in Portuguese, for example. So I like to explore different languages. That is for sure. And for example, Shiva, and also the new songs, there are parts in Sanskrit, for example. So I like to do different stuff. But what I feel the most comfortable with writing is definitely English. I feel like I can express my emotions better somehow. When I was in Mexico, I was also starting to write in Spanish, because that's what I was, surrounded by the whole time as well. And in Puerto Vallarta, where I lived, yeah, of course, like it is a touristy place. So like in the center, people would like speak English in restaurants and stuff like that, but the locals didn't speak English, at least not very well in general. I was speaking Spanish basically like after 2 days. I was already, because I studied Spanish at school. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna speak Spanish.
Filomena, you did the online streaming of your orchestral performance of the Symphony of Unity at Tomorrowland in Belgium. That was
Yeah.
watched by 1 million people in 24 hours. I still can't believe that. And the emotion that you felt, like, how do you explain that? That must have been like, wow.
Yeah, well, I think, well, first of all, that was like the biggest like orchestra that I've played with. We were like 70 something members of the orchestra, and it was truly amazing. Well, describe it. I'm not sure if I can really describe it. For sure, it's one of the best moments of my life that I can recall. Like being basically like, and it was like a very huge stage with, I'm not even sure how many people there were. I know that because I also played afterwards with Tomorrowland and the Metropole Orchestra at the Ziggo Dome Arena in Amsterdam, and there were 17,000 people as the audience, but that also was streamed online, so also many people watched it. But the one in Belgium, yeah, it was watched by 1 million people within the first 24 hours. And yeah, it just felt amazing. One thing that I recall about it actually was I knew it was amazing when I was on stage, but I didn't realize how amazing it was until I actually watched it back. When I could watch the streaming, I remember we were watching it on the bus, because we had like a very big bus for the orchestra, just for us, and with some of the members of the orchestra, we watched the streaming back, and I was like, yeah, I knew it was great, but I didn't even have the slightest idea that it could be this amazing when I looked back at it. So yeah, I don't know if I can really describe it, but yeah, definitely one of the best moments, if not the best moment of my
Well,
life
Filomena,
so far.
how did you manage to keep your composure? 17,000 people.
Each evening, because there were 2 evenings. Um, well, I feel like sometimes this might sound a bit weird firsthand, but if you think of it, I feel much more self-conscious when there are a few people in a room than when there are 17,000 people in the room. Well, also because when there were 17,000 people in the room, well, in the arena, more than in the room, it was huge. I couldn't really look at them in the eyes, because it was all dark, basically most of it. Unless, well, of course, in some moments there was fire and fireworks. So in that moment I could see something, but most of the time I couldn't. Well, I could see that there were people, but I could not look at them in the eyes. But when there are only a few people in a room, like 40 people, 50 people, I don't know, I can definitely look at all of them in the eyes. That's much easier, and it gives more anxiety, I feel like. So yeah, I think it wasn't that much of yeah, it wasn't that difficult to sing in front of all those people. Well, of course I felt a bit anxious before getting on stage, but I felt much better when I was on it.
What's your routine before you get on stage to prepare yourself to sing in front of not just 17,000 people, but to go out there and perform? What are your rituals that you would do to prepare your voice, your composure, the way you interact with the audience with your music?
Oh, so well, it depends, but sometimes I'm late. so, so I might skip some relaxation, but I try to get centered. I feel like it is very important to center and feel like completely centered before getting on stage, with some breathing um, exercises. And like I also said earlier, I like to meditate. It is nice if I can actually also like run maybe in the morning if there is time, but that's not always possible. And then, of course, there's warm-ups, exercises, a must do before a performance. But that's it. Well, sometimes I try to also repeat what I want to say to the audience in my head, or out loud as well. So yeah, but these are the things that I do before getting on stage, and drink a lot of water. I try to drink as much water as I can, because I do get a little bit of dryness otherwise.
That's terrific. Wow. I know that in April 2022, you had released your first album, Love Will Come Back. Now, your first single, as we mentioned before, when we had our first interview, we were discussing Goodbye, My Love. Can you tell us who your love was written for about Goodbye, My Love? Okay, reveal. Who is it?
It was my grandmother, really. And most of the people think it's a romantic love that I'm talking about, but no, it really wasn't. It was about my grandmother. She passed away in October 2018, and I wrote Goodbye My Love in less than 48 hours, everything, all of
Wow,
it. Yeah, well, there are
beautiful.
some songs that I took years to write, but that song, it was like completely done in less than 48 hours, because I felt, such inspiration in writing it. But yeah, many people ask me, who was that about? But it was yeah, really my grandmother. She I mean, I had the luck of having her in my life for 28 years, so until I was 28. Um, and she was a very, very important figure for me while growing up. Um, so she was like a second mother, really, to me. So it was very, very painful when she passed, and when I feel like very strong emotions, either sad or happy. Um, I don't know. It just everything comes out, and I start writing.
Yeah. You do realize that Goodbye My Love was included in a compilation to raise funds for the victims of the war in Ukraine.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It was
I don't
very.
know if Goodbye My Love is about your grandma and it's included on a compilation for the victims of war in Ukraine. Does that does it work on that album? Like people thinking it has something to do with you leaving a love behind in Ukraine or something.
Well, that compilation has, I think, about 100 artists, like composers and singer-songwriters from all over the world. Um, so, like, we all had some songs um, into that. Well, I do feel like um, it works in the sense that everybody, when listening to a song, can make up their own story. Doesn't have to be my story. What I wish for people when they listen to my songs is that they can make their own interpretation of the song, so they can kind of tailor it to their lives or their experiences or the subject. So yeah, it can also be for someone that lost their love in a very tragic situation, like for example a war, if they lived that particular situation and if they feel like the song resonates with them somehow. I feel like everybody they can feel like, because also like when we listen to other artists' songs, we don't really know what's the story behind it. But if it resonates with us, then it becomes our own story as well.
Well, that's true. Now, what we found out that your first single, Goodbye My Love, has to do with your grandmother that you lost in 2018. It's followed by the singles Love Will Come Back and I've Been Waiting for You. So, Filomena, the audience wants to know, did your love come back?
um, so Love Will Come Back is also there is also something different than what people would expect from listening to the title. It's also not about romantic love. um, but there was a time in my life in which I felt what I think everyone, each one and every one of us has had that in their life, to feel like you're not valued as you would like to be valued, and people not being very positive about you or about what you're doing. So that happened to me, and what I wanted to express with that song is that when you spread love instead of hate, love will come back to you multiplied. But it can be any form of love. It can be also romantic, of course, but it can be also friendships, or in your family. It can be really different types of love. But for sure, when you choose love and kindness instead of hate, then it will surely come back.
Well, then in that case, I've Been Waiting for You is not about romance, then, right?
Oh, that one, yes, that one is
Oh,
about romance love.
oh, you ruined everything. You ruined it now. Thank you. I spent a lot of time that question. Just kidding.
Yeah, but it was actually a very smart question to ask. But yeah, funny answer. No, that's actually the only one of the three that was about romantic love. Yeah, waiting for a love that's gone, and yeah, waiting for it to come back. But actually, I'm not even 100% sure in my story, because it started that way, but then it kind of became like waiting for a love that hasn't come yet. It is a bit weird to explain, but it did start um, after a breakup, like wishing for a lost love to come back. But then, as time passed and it like the song evolved, I didn't write it all together. It became more like, yes, I think like a love that hasn't come yet. I've been waiting for you, but a new love to come. I feel like there's a lot of like hidden stuff in when writing songs, but also in this case, the listener uh, will interpret it like according to their own life experience.
Oh, I love that answer, Filomena. Excellent answer. I'm. I remember last time we had spoken. I know that I, about a year and a half ago in July 2022, you flew to Toronto, and I'm only 25 minutes from there. So why did you call me? No, just kidding. Now, you went there to work with award-winning producer Ray Hamilton III. Now everyone, Ray Hamilton III, worked with Britney Spears, Michael Jackson, NSYNC. It's incredible. And I don't know if you know who Roy Hamilton III is, but he is the grandson of Georgia Music Hall of Fame singer Roy Hamilton. Incredible. So
Yeah.
you wrote the song Renaissance. Can you just update us on really what the meaning behind Renaissance is? And it was released in February of last year.
Yes, it was released last year, in February. Um, well, Renaissance. I think I started writing it also around 2018, and then I did not feel inspired to finish it immediately. So it took slightly longer. But yeah, it was about like coming out of pretty difficult time of my life with a renewed energy, renewed power, like feeling that you finally um, have your life back, you know, and saying, yeah, like I say in the lyrics, I want to live. I want to give this life another chance. Like I feel finally myself, and I feel finally powerful enough to make this statement and start again with my life.
Oh, wow.
So that's a very strong meaning, and you can actually also hear it in the music. It has power.
Yeah, that was a great song. I've heard it, and I'll link it down below. Uh, I love it how it was showcased online at the IMX, the International Music Expo, if people don't know, in Shanghai, China. So your music has reached all the way in China as well. And this was, of course, last year, November. So not like so many months ago, which is awesome. And I also like the fact that in February of last year, you released the single Shiva in collaboration with Australian music and producer Stephen North. One another thing I love about it also is that you made your debut on Italian national TV singing during the program Viva il Videobox by Fiorello. Can you tell us about that experience? Because that was only like a month ago.
Yeah, that just happened. So I shot the program at the end of March, and then it was aired in April. So yeah, about one and a half month ago. It was super nice. It was the first time that I was on like a very important national TV channel. Like Rai in Italian is like the main channel that everybody watches. I don't know, like I don't really know about Canada what could be compared to. But yeah, it's basically the main channel, and Rai 2. There's Rai 1, Rai 2, and Rai 3. It was really nice because there were also other talented artists um, like shooting with me, and yeah, I flew to Rome, so that was really nice. And yeah, I shot the program. I sang actually. This is I sang two songs originally, and one was Renaissance, um, and then the other one was a cover. But the TV program only lasts half an hour. So we were, I don't remember how many artists there. There were also dancers. So it was like really nice. But yeah, there was no time to to have both songs aired. So in the end, they only aired one. But yeah, besides that, it was yeah, a really nice experience. Yeah, I hope to do that in the future as well in another TV program. But it was really, really nice because then when it aired, I had a lot of people contacted me and were like, I saw you on TV. It was, yeah, that was me. So that was, yeah, it was pretty nice.
I remember you speaking about how you given numerous online workshops on the introduction of vocal painting for the students in Kathmandu Jazz Conservatory in Kathmandu, Nepal. Can you give us a little bit of explanation of what vocal painting is all about?
Yeah, so basically, vocal painting is an innovative way of expressing what you want on stage. So it is improvised music, first of all. So you have a group of people, and the way the conductor and the other members of the group communicate on stage, that is vocal painting. There is no need of using words. It's a sign language to express what you want in that moment. And the beauty of it actually that is that then the conductor can also pass the lead to one of the members. But it is pretty fun. It can be a little bit anxiety given in the beginning. um, but it is really fun to do, and each time something different comes out, because of course each and every one of the members will do different signs or sing in a different way, have different solos, of course. And yeah, it was really fun to give that workshop at the conservatorium in Nepal, which was actually something that I had really wanted. Like, I have these things. I do have goals in my mind, and I do not give up until I reach that goal. I really wanted to have an opportunity to teach in some form of way at the conservatorium in Kathmandu. And in the end, I got it. It was online. I couldn't go in person also because COVID once more. Um, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And also the students, they were very new to the subject. But I hope at least that some of them continued with it. I don't know if they did, but yeah, it's always nice if someone then feels encouraged to continue through that path.
Wow, I like that. What accomplishments do you see yourself achieving in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, well, I like not to reveal too much, but yeah, I would like to keep performing on big stages, uh, like I've done, um, like with the things that I told you about, like Tomorrowland, and other things like that, other festivals like that. So I really would like to um, keep going with festivals, like big festivals like that, big stages. Um, Having more music out into the world, and more collaborations. I would like to travel to places where I haven't been yet for music. I've never been in Asia, for
Mm.
example. I really love, like, because, for example, Renaissance was showcased in China, but I was not there. My video was there, right? But I was not there in person, and I would really love to have the opportunity um, to sing in China, Japan, South Korea, or anywhere really. It would be really great, or India as well, because some of my music is inspired to Indian traditional, classical music with some influences. So I would really love to go there, have concerts, and also explore. So yeah, I feel like the list is still pretty long of what I want to still do musically.
Filomena Croce, we're so happy to have you back. So nice to, be updated with your current accolades and what's happening in your life. We're going to end the stream really happy. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
And
thank you so very much for having me again here. It was lovely to talk to you, Chris, and also thanks to all the people that will listen to it as well.
thank you, Filomena. All right. Just bye, everyone. Okay.